Alright, welcome back to another really great spec, this time with FTRL number 3 of FTRL, which is France. Dry qualifying, dry race, on paper at least. So heading into this one, I actually had a little bit of familiarity with this one, having done a social race in for TTML, and I felt pretty comfortable. I felt good with the setup, I felt decently okay with the pace. I had actually improved my time to a 28 flat in qualifying. So yeah, was really looking forward. Not really, well, not really looking forward to it, but looking forward to it more so than flipping to Russia, anyways. So, anyways, there's a setup you can see for yourself. Kind of standard stuff there, really. Anyways, end of qualifying. Pretty disappointed not to put in a better lap time. It just didn't come together. I only got a real proper lap in this time round. It's going to be a 28.4, that looks like. So, I wish it was a little bit better, but it's good enough anyways. For a 28 flat would have put me in the top 10, so it's kind of frustrating. I've been put in, I'm in P15. I think I'm in P15. Let me scroll down and find out. Yes, here we go. God, my qualifying has sucked ass this year. So, yeah, P15, not great, but I'm going to use the mediums and not the hards. And we'll do mediums and hards, and we'll keep softs, and we'll see how we get on. Anyways, here is the strategy. Same stuff, really. Again, nothing too much really to fly over. It is mediums to hards, and like it was before, and we'll go from there. So, again, the weather looks dry, so yeah, kind of just getting to learn a bit more. And I'll just leave the fuel in, about 1.7 I think I put in, because I struggled with fuel last time, as you know. But anyways, here we go then. 5 red lights. And away we go. It's not a bad start. Joe's on hards, and then Tom is coming through. I've got another car on the left-hand side. I'm not sure who that is, actually. I think it's Sway. But into turn 1, Tom, that line opens up for him. And then Chaos in front. I can't remember. I don't know who spun Ox, but anyways, I'm going to try and overtake and slipstream my way past Tom and try and get by Chris as well. Late on the brakes heading into this end of Sector 1 here, getting a Sector 2, but nothing really doing on this one. Just trying to settle in. Again, the back end likes to step out a lot of these corners to kind of as you wait upon the throttle, so I want to try and survive. But I try to get some overtake done on Chris, but he was obviously using some in reply, so I couldn't make that move. So just kind of seeing what's ahead. I know Tom's behind. I know Tom is someone who loves to use ERS very early in the stint, so I didn't want to use a ton, because I just don't think using like 70% of your ERS on lap 1 is worth taking a position or two, depending on the track you're on, of course. But not like this, where overtaking is can be fairly straightforward around this track, to be fair, as much as the real life race can lend itself to difficulties. But as lap 1, kind of nothing really happening. This corner I really struggled. You see kind of Chris going wide there himself. I struggled really hard with that corner as the stint went on, and even on the hards as well. It was really confusing. I don't quite understand why I understeered so much, especially with a 10.6 wing. Tom tried to put his car in down the inside there, and that was that door would have gotten closed if I had gone more aggressively into that corner. Like the dive into there, I wasn't going to be making space for that, but he got enough alongside me heading down towards here. So you see Tico's disconnected, so we get through him. Ghost cars are so distracting, man. They really are, really distracting. So Tom goes through anyways. Got Wesker behind, who's serving a qualifying ban, so he's kind of out of place here to begin this race. So we're going to stick with this for now, at least. And Tom will try and use 50% more of his energy to try and get past Chris. I am going to try and use a little bit to try and stay ahead of Wesker, at least for the time being. A bit of overtake. You can see behind, again, no DRS, so I'm not really worried about him overtaking, but I use a little bit here now just to try and boost that top end, just so he wouldn't be overtaking. I left the space in case he left his car down the inside there. I really shouldn't have, but because it would have been up to him to get out of it. But this time around, though, I'm not going to waste. Again, I'm not insisting on wasting all of my ERS in 2 laps to defend You know, people who are willing to use all their ERS in 2 laps. It's just not worth it long term. I almost understeered into him here, which was a little scary moment there for a second. I thought I was going to collide with him, but that was just flat understeer. So, yeah, at this stage I was not very happy about people just using the ERS for it, which it just seems silly in my mind to use like so much of it so early. Anyways, lap number 4, we are going to gain position because Chris is going to spin out of coming out of turn 2. So we kind of kept within DRS of Wesker, and he's kept within DRS of Tom, and that's going to be where our race is really at this opening phase, is behind Wesker and Tom. Lap number 6, you can see Wesker's got by Tom, and they're squabbling in front. So this medium stint was fine, and then a decent run. See, Tom actually takes the position back from Wesker at a very bad part of the track because he's gonna have DRS. So Wesker's going to easily get past, and I'm actually going to try and get past here as well. I'm going to use some ERS to try and make this move. So just use the overspeed to take me through. Down the inside, very simple move in the end. Very easy to make that one. And that's what saving your ERS will do to you. Will do. You save a bit of ERS, and because literally Tom could not come back at me after this in this first stint. Because every time he wanted to try something, because I had DRS in front of me from Wesker, and anytime he was coming with a little extra speed, I just used a bit of boost, and he had absolutely no response to it. You're going to see it here as Wesker picks up a penalty. This is lap number 8. So Wesker's not got... I couldn't really get by Wesker myself. You can see the guys on softs with Scuba kind of on the softs in front. I couldn't get a good enough launch off of this corner to get close to make an overtake. Tom, you can see he's 4/10s, just under 4/10s behind. And I can literally just use the slipstream, the DRS. And even if Tom used a little bit of ERS, I could just use the energy to fight him off. And it's more so up this straight where there's no DRS. Again, I use a little bit on the exit here, and he's just got nothing to fight with. So that's why I want to save my ERS, because like you can't do anything without ERS afterwards. You just can't. Like it's hard to save here, so it's just impossible. Anyways, heading on to lap number 9. A few people pitching from their soft compound tires, and the rain. Rain is expected. 15 minutes apparently to rain. This was not on the radars. This is part of the spotty radar kind of thing. And so I was debating in my head where to do, like, what do I pitch early? Go for softs, or go for mediums? Ultimately, after a bit of consultation with the guys I was racing with here, like Scuba and I know Matt was around. Matt was racing this one actually, I think, as well, and Sway. Eventually, kind of thought it might be best to just do the stint as normal, and if the rain comes, it comes. So, but at least try and get to the end. At least, if I do medium, I'm screwed. I have to, if the rain doesn't get wet enough for it to be, for the US to be disabled. So, anyways, late call into the pits, lap 11. Almost ruined that pit entry, to be fair. So yeah, I just wanted to play it safe, I guess, in the end. Could have gone aggressive, but I guess this was the best option in the end. So we're going to go into hards. You see Tom stayed out, so Wesker came in though. I really should have come in the lap before, because this was a late decision as possible. Like, do I go mediums? Do I go softs? Do I go hards? The dilemma really was there. We're just within DRS of Wesker still, which is huge. I just couldn't get by him. Like, I just couldn't get the run off of that corner and he onto that Mistral straight. I just could not do it. Because I just couldn't get the run. I was just afraid of losing the back end and traction. I just want to get to the end of this race. I just want to survive. Anyways, Tom was able to get a box and get back within DRS. This right gaggle up here is caused, I believe, by people who have yet to stop. I think maybe Kevin coming through the field as well. So there's a bit of that. Ox loses the back end, so he goes off there. So that's another lost back end for him. VSC is deployed, so we're all mostly on the same strategy here. Like most of us here now, we're on hard. So it's going to be really interesting how this kind of shakes and unfolds at the end of this race. Joe and Sway are going to go softs on there. Still going hard softs. Same with Dan. Lap 16. You see Kevin pitted for mediums, so he's obviously nailed to a 2-stop. So I honestly just want him to go by here. It gets by Tom, and he can just have that inside line. I lose as little time as possible, and he loses as little time as possible, so it kind of works out. So that's down into P12 with plenty of opportunities and penalties in front, so plenty of opportunities to be had here. So I was looking forward to kind of seeing how the second stint settle down. Joe and Sway are coming on their softs, so not going to fight this.
Have fun up there.
So Joe gets the run. His lap 17. I tried to follow him through this line, really, and I really don't understand what happened, because the back end, fourth gear, I don't think I even pushed the... Like, it just went. Like, the car just went. It was really surprising. Very, very annoyed. Honestly, like, this hurt me hard. I will be honest. That did hurt me hard. It felt in similar in some ways to my DNF and TMC in the F1 2018, where the car just randomly got away from me at Ascari into the barrier. It really surprised me. I didn't think I did anything particularly wrong there. Fourth gear. It wasn't even full throttle. It was a surprise to me anyways. Lap 23 rather. 23. The rain has now come. So, again, when you're in the rain, yes, you could play it safe by looking at the when DRS is disabled, but to be on the next level, you need to get ahead of that. So it's all about sector times. So I'm constantly watching sector times here throughout this entire thing. And the way the track was shaping up was that this was a lap or so, it was going to be close. You know, like by the time you get to around 3 or 4 seconds down through sector 2, generally speaking, you're basically on the edge then of pitting for Inter. So like 1.9, 1.3, big moment there, big moment. So I think this is a lap I decided to box, but same lap again. You end of sector 2. Again, you're looking at the sector times, 4 seconds slower through sector 2. I know I had that moment, but that's part of the reason here. It made no sense. Like, in my head, it made logical sense that, right, we get 4 laps of intermediate running. I know the pit lane's long here, but I think that's worth it. So Scuba is behind me. He had a sort of drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC that happened earlier. So I decided to box because my race is kind of... look, my race is already gone, so I kind of need to take a risk. But it wasn't even much of a risk. This genuinely is the crossover point. But this shit game doesn't have any concept of what a wet track is. Honestly, like it should have been intermediate conditions. There's no way that track, the dries were quicker. But lo and behold, the dries were quicker still. This look at the track. I was 4 seconds slower. Like that's through two sectors. It would have been comfortably 6 or 7 through if I had finished that lap, on lap 24. It made no sense. So the rain wasn't going to be here for long, but that doesn't matter. Like it was raining for 10 minutes. It shouldn't have mattered. Anyways, nothing happened the rest of that race. So guys who pitted kind of. I was overtaken by a few people, like by. I don't know.
Look at the fucking track.
I don't know. Who cares? It's P15.
My inters aren't even overheating.
P16 actually. No, sorry, P15. And here's the thing. Like I was saying there, my inters didn't even overheat. Like if the track, look at that. How's that track not intermediates? I don't understand. Like if you're not on the right tire, then in theory your inter should be overheating. But at no point did my inters overheat. It was absolutely bizarre. But anyways, there's the race. Really frustrating. I don't know if I would have pitted for inters had I been in the position. Like look at that, Dan was behind me for 90% of that race apart from when I spun, and he finished 6th. So it's really frustrating. That really was. Anyways, I'm still 6th in the standings, but kind of the comfortable margin I had, I guess, over the pack, because look how close it is from myself. There's Tom, there's Dan, there's Wesker, there's Sway, there's Kevin, Funky Fox, Dylan, Scuba's not too far behind either. You know, a really shit race kind of put that to bed pretty quickly. So yeah, pretty frustrating, but look, I guess it could have been worse. So, anyways, that's going to do it for this round. Next up is Spain. I was going to say Monza, but that's TTML. It's Spain next. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.